Alright guys, and welcome back to Banishers. We've come to a brand new section of the map for what is the last side quest. Actually not the last. It is the last. I thought I only had one side quest left. Oh, but that's not true. I've got at least half a dozen in a brand new area. Another area I've been to once. I've done one mission there. I've done the main mission there. So we are not done just yet. And do you know what? That really makes me happy. I know for those of you that have been watching this series
mist is different
and have really stuck with it.
Like it's fortified for protection.
Oh God. A love dead and buried. Well, we got to go in the quick mist now. That means we're going to be playing as Antea because she's the only one who can see in this stuff. But yeah, anyway. So, yeah, we are not done yet. Those of you that have been watching and enjoying this series, thank you so much for watching and taking part and giving us your feedback and thoughts. It's been great, actually. I've really enjoyed it. Ooh. Let's get rid of you. Nice and quick. And a soul shard. Ollie got a soul shard. Right, where are we going? Down here. Now we've got to clear the mist. So, I presume we need to get ourselves wrapped up in the thick of it.
Do you mind doing the seeing thing while I'm blinded by this pea super?
Okay. Good thing with this mist, though, is you get this sort of echo of where roughly the direction of that source of the mist. Yeah, right here. Now, as soon as we unlock this, most of the time, we go straight into a fight. But this time...
Off with you. Elizabeth. I remember you. The Banisher from New Eden Town. When we met, I thought you alone. In truth, a ghost walks with you.
Aye. Invisible. Indivisible.
You should not be here.
Invisible and indivisible. I love that. Okay, so this is Elizabeth O'Hara. Are we supposed to know who she is?
Elizabeth O'Hara, right? Yes, and that is my business. I'll mind you to tend to your own.
What, your name is your business, nobody else's. Great, well, we'll just call you Thingamy-Bob, shall we? Did the fever take you?
Did the fever take you? Inevitably, yes. I, and I alone, had long accepted it. Stay away from my sister. Stay away from Mary Claire. Be gone.
A warning from a spirit that should not be taken lightly. Oh. And she brings foul...
Elizabeth cares. Deeply.
Yeah, there's no malice here. There's no malice here? A ghost is protective. That's probably
yes.
About right.
She's very protective.
Perhaps something around this cove will tell us about this Mary Claire.
Or this letter right here, perhaps. Scraps of poetry. Oh, here we go. Let me get my best poet voice on. 'Tis the wind that sweepeth the land. No, I won't do it like that. 'Tis the wind that sweepeth the land that thou and I hath sown before, with gentle palms upon the earth, and our backs hunched and hard and sore. 'Tis the silent sounds of dusk, doleful in autumnal bliss. Blessed be thy longing hands, blessed be the home thou misseth. 'Tis the thread of wool thou spinneth, weaving warmth into our meal. O Lord, let us taste rest. Let us be quiet and soft and still. 'Tis the scent of salt and water, 'tis our ache that you absolve. 'Tis our grief for Ireland and the strength of our resolve. That's beautiful. That should have been said with an Irish accent.
She seems hostile, but also tries to guide us towards something.
Already able to control wisps. Her ghost grows strong fast.
Wait a minute, what is this here?
Memories from the past linger nearby.
Now all we were told is just stay away from her sister, but what the hell is this?
A scale fogach smile.
I'd love to know what that is. Probably Celtic.
You
I'd
could
love
have
to know what
stayed
it
home
means.
to write. How's your leg?
still crippled. Besides, I needed air, and I like it here.
I know you like it here.
Elizabeth! Are you all right?
Yes. Wait. No. My necklace is gone.
Necklace.
Mary
Float
Claire is
down
our
the river.
ghost sister.
Mary Claire is hobbled. Her sister must have done the chores.
They seemed happy. They certainly did.
They seem very happy indeed.
Okay, we've got a couple of hints. I'll read those in a second. Poems notebook. And I look at her. Her hair is black as the earth I was born on. Her eyes as blue as the river I bathed in. Her lips as soft as the warmth of the sunrise on the hill of Tara. And hands as brave as Fionn McCullum's. McCummels, sorry. I'll follow her wherever she goes. I'd rather suffer 1,000 times than let her go. I'll throw myself off Barabima if it will let me hold her hand. For the sound of your eyes through this great beating heart, I feel your presence like the wind of Muireren, penetrating your aura that my fingers consume, dizzy with mirages, a warrior without his quest. By this pearl of life is all I desire, a burst of sigh I feel and understand. I imagine your delicate hands clasping a bouquet of flowers. My love, I live you, I swear, be my blood. When the banshee howls under the full moon in search of her lost offspring, when Carmen dies of grief in the darkness of his prison, then you can hear the echoes of my pain. When the Tuatha De Danann are acclaimed for saving the ancient peoples, when the fairies come to bring good fortune to all the wretched, then you can hear my joy resound. Air will always be in me. Wherever I go, her memories will be mine, and you can never take them away from me. Air will always be in me, and when I am dead, I will return to her. My bones will be her hills, my hair shall be her forests. My blood shall be her rivers, and my ashes will be her flowers. Oh, it's beautiful. I probably mispronounced some of the names in that. I suppose with some of these book readings, maybe people get a bit bored of me doing them, but they are so well written and so well placed in the game. I'm wondering if that necklace that she lost is going to turn up somewhere.
Ghostly voices stay in this place.
Not a word, not a yearning, and yet the leaves of every tree whisper thy name away.
Simply follow the wisp, it says.
You used to write me poems.
If I remembered it, I'd not admit to it.
Oh, come on. It was not that bad.
Then we have to head up there, but there's no way over here, I don't think. I'm guessing we'll have to find another. Oh, come on, Red. There you go. Alright, looks like we've got to climb the cliff. Or go through this cave somewhere. Okay, well, I was half right and half wrong. Go through the cave and climb a cliff. The wisp is up there. I think. Therefore I am. Let's head up here. I'm pretty sure this will take us straight to that log. I was about to say there's been no beasties to shoot
Back up.
just yet. And here we go.
I think we've hit a nerve.
Alright. Now, Antea's blast is incredibly good at defeating doggies. simple, straightforward combat. It is nice because it's not complicated.
It's close.
Now, it isn't setting the world on fire, this combat system, but it's fairly easy to get used to. Okay, well, that was just some goodies. Right, this is exactly where the... Okay, I've got a couple of things to blow up over there, but this is where the wisp was taking us. What is that? Painting. A fallen easel. Easel for me to say. Scraps of poetry again. Of evening I long for. Mistress of mercy, anoint mine lips with blessed sweetness. Of passion, mine own love for thee. Beta Virgo, queen of heaven. Unfailing, I drink from thy fountain of wisdom and joy until morning I burn to be worthy of the covenant that binds us to the mysteries of our creation. God, are these real poems? I mean, of course they're real poems. I mean, did they write them just for this game? It's powerful stuff. Oh, here we go. The ghost wants us to find
She
this
is the leaf brightening upon the breeze.
I'm not sure what that meant.
How did it go? The light in your eyes.
The warmth in thy eyes.
You do remember.
Warmth in thy eye. So what does this wisp want us to see? So I presume this is obviously the dead sister. It could be, might not be. The game keeps on throwing these surprises. Very different landscape around
You're
here.
on your own.
Oh, damn it. I want to get into that. This hut, this cave. No, not a cave. What is it? Where are the wards? Where are you? They're sometimes hidden in trees, sometimes in a completely different part of the world. On the map. Like this would be prime for it, but I don't see anything. I think we might have to give that hut a miss.
I sense the fragment of a ghost's voice.
The dainty sparkle of Helios's lamp shining through the space of each quivering branch.
Oh, annotated poetry. How may I put down to paper, unreadable it says. Leaving home, leaving it all behind, whatever she may say, I miss ere you. Words are crossed out, the world moves, but come now if ever before. The shapes of what my life could have been if I had stayed to marry that man flicker before me in my dreams. Thou came, thou sacred something, come to me here. I heard thy voice far off and listened and left my father's golden house. Come to me here, come to me here, come to me here.
Fleeing island and an unwanted marriage. They risked much. It was a brave thing to do.
Oh, wait a minute. I don't even know if this is the right way to go. Oh, it is. The wisp is off.
It was so romantic. Go on, say it.
The warmth in thy eyes, in the dark of the night. The sparkle in thy voice, in the depths of my heart.
Ah, I was right. It was terrible. And I still like it.
That was quite good, actually, Ante.
Echoing chords across the sea, there's a storm when you sleep. Our joined souls usher in the unspoken.
Our joined souls. Oh, this is the necklace that fell off. It says Elizabeth O'Hara on it. What's that? Somebody Tyson? A wooden pendant engraved with the names Moira Tynan and Elizabeth O'Hara. Moira Tynan. So
Moira Tynan. Have we heard that name before?
We have now, and we found our tie.
Right, so hang on.
Who is
3
Moira
women involved
Tynan?
in this story.
No. Please, leave it alone. Leave it be.
The dead left a mark here. I can reveal the stains. There's another.
Okay, well, I got it. Another scrap of poetry. I button mine eyes and hark at the heavens' sweet rumble sighs. Its mute clamour spreadeth cross mine own skin, like the caress of a gentle lover. I gaze upon the raindrops, hastening down the glass, and hurtle back to the silence that haunteth the cracks, between the pauses of the storm. Birds of a feather shush, the whole world disappeareth into hush, to heed the thundering of the earth. Not a word, not a yearning, and yet the leaves of every tree whisper thy name away. My
Another
God,
trail. This way.
this is heavy stuff. We have a trail this way, she says. Okay, it's straightforward. It's straight ahead. So this one is definitely, I was going to say an ode to poetry, which is kind of ironic in itself, isn't it? A poem of poems. This story is gorgeous. Oh, another misty place. So, her sister had a lover. Moira sounds like
Stuff is thick.
a
I
woman's
can see
name.
just fine.
Love poems, fortified quick mist. She's a fiercely protective ghost.
That gives her power. We should take care.
God, it's going to be a nightmare, isn't it? Behind there. There you are.
Leave us. You trespass here. Leave us be.
I'm afraid we can't do that.
Please. We are just like you.
Why are you here?
You shouldn't be here. What binds you? What's keeping you here?
What binds you? What keeps you?
Well, that's not answering the question. That's just another question. Okay. How did you die, Elizabeth?
What happened? How did you die?
We are all mortal. I knew it, but strangely I thought myself exempt. A bad cut, badness in the blood. I rotted from within. And that was that. Leave us be. Leave Mary Claire alone. Begone.
She's strong and defensive. The sister, Mary Claire, should be nearby. Look for a house.
What? Well, look for a house. Where? I can't see one anywhere. I don't think we can get down from here. Unless there's a jump point. No. Right, we're gonna have to backtrack. Mary Claire. There's a couple of blue spots over there. I wonder if that's a shelter.
An echo whispering to me.
I see the apron you wore to the river. From across the meadow, the blossoms and leaves. I see its wings rise like sails in the harbour. From across the meadow, or so I believe.
Do you recognize the verse?
No, but I see spectral stains enveloping the building and blocking the door. How did the...
I see the apron you wore
Oh
to
no,
the
we
river.
did that. We did that.
From across the meadow,
Sorry, I
the
can't skip it.
blossoms and leaves. I see its wings rise like sails in the harbour. From across the meadow, or so I believe.
Do you recognize the verse?
No, but I see spectral stains enveloping the building and blocking the door. How did the poem go again? Maybe something around here refers to what's in the verses.
Ooh, I think we found the ruby slippers. Yeah, there's been a... I forgot to mention, there's been a patch to the game that I downloaded today. I think it came out yesterday. And one of the things it's fixed, you're going to love this because I keep going on about it, is the frequency with which Antea tells you to use her when you're in combat. And there's a load of bug fixes, a load of other stuff. But that one, when I read it on the list, I was like, yes, come on.
I don't think the poem referred to this.
The poem didn't refer to this.
This wasn't part of the verse.
This wasn't part of the verse. Alright, looks like we have to follow these wispy trails. Here's another one.
Ghostly voices stay in this place. I don't think the poem referred to this.
Oh, it's got to be something from the poem.
To enter, I think we must show the ghost we understand what mattered in its life.
I got it. Right,
Look for traces.
Stop going for the things that are nothing to do with the poem. But I don't know. I have the memory of, well, a sieve, literally, right down there on the ground. Oh, that was one trail. We've already taken the close one there. There's one round the back here.
An echo whispering to me.
Oh, the apron. That was mentioned in the poem.
I see all the milk you sifted this morning. From across the meadow, the blossoms and leaves. I see all its freckles braid onto your clogs. From across the meadow, or so I believe.
Right. Across the meadow. Maybe that's where we go next. Anyone mind telling me where the meadow is? Oh, the clogs. Now we go with the clogs. They were just mentioned. Got it.
I see the curds that you plucked from the way. From across the meadow, the blossoms and leaves. I see the colander resting in the hay.
There we go, the colander.
From across the meadow, or
The
so
sieve I
believe.
just called. Which is actually a colander. Okay, we got this. So it was about getting them in the right order as according to the poem. I see.
I see the cheese you stir for me and my sins. From across the meadow, the blossoms and leaves. Oh, please do gift me this mouthful of mercy, so the mournful morrow cleaves.
The mournful
The thread
morrow.
is gone.
I don't think we can still do these, can we?
I feel the dark curse or spell we found already.
We should find that ritual Seeker told us about. I've kept her notes about the hut location.
Oh God! I tell you what, I just haven't been able to figure out how to do that. There's a spell somewhere. She gave us a location. Still not done. I will have to go find it.
Is it just me or?
I felt it too.
The spinning wheel.
By the hearth, the bed is made, the goose is cooked, the bread is baked.
Okay. By the hearth, the bed is made, the goose is cooked, the bread is baked. Okay, just creepy. Oh my God, it's another long one. Scraps of poetry. Thou swalloweth back the words caged as a wolf inside thy mouth. They snarl against thy throat, feral and savage. Bared fangs plunging into the love thou wouldst tame. Ripping tout with blood-soaked chops, for she is the freest. Perfumed wet earth after hours of rainfall. The moment of the hour whence the robin doth sing. She is the leaf, bridling upon the breeze, and the dainty sparkle of Helios is lamp shining through the space of each quivering branch. She is the moss on the undying rock, where the water yet steams through the brook, where every parched being cometh to rest. She is the peak of the eldest tree, a finger pointing to where the moon waits, and thou shouldst know it full well, that the wolf shall never surrender. And thou shouldst know it full well, that the wolf shall howl his way out. God, reading sort of slightly older English is a little tricky, and I probably messed up a few things. Thank God it's not that old. Only a couple of 100 years. Oh my God, another poem. The maiden saith, I'll wait, saith she. The maiden saith, I'll wend my way. The maiden saith, and she by the barn, yea, that she would go a-courting. I'd knock spots off the birds, saith the lady. I'd knock spots off the hakes. We would haul them in, saith she. Should the hand lines hold. We would haul them in, saith she, should our hand lines hold. The maiden saith, I'll wait, saith she. The maiden saith, I'll wend my way. The maiden saith, and she by the barn, yea, that she would go a-court. Sounds like a song, more than a poem. What was that? We just heard a grunt. That was all we got. We got a My Elizabeth, my heart. It does me fine and great to read your letter. I thought I'd not hear from you again. At home all's well as can be well. The harvest is small, but the cow calved, and we've allowed the tenants to stay on the rent, so there's at least beef and milk. This year shall be better. Perhaps we shall lose fewer of the young men to the colonies or the war, and fewer young girls to service in England, like your friend Moira Tynan. So she was forced to go to, well, not forced, she left to go to be a servant in England. None have seen hide or hair of her in the years since she walked out of the house without a word. Not to her father, nor to her betrothed, Patrick Ogue. Your mother hasn't been the same since you left, and neither was Patrick. But the wedding has brought some cheer, for you should know that Patrick Ogue gave up on Moira and has married your sister, Mary Clare. She misses you, as do we all. With all the good love, your father, Daddy. Oh my God, so this guy, Patrick, who we've only just heard about, was in love with Moira. Moira then left to be a servant in England, but although they say she just walked out of the house without a word to anybody, she just left. They didn't see her. I mean, did they even know she left? She might still be there, buried under the floorboards. Patrick buried her under the floorboard. Oh, is that what happened? This is from the dad's perspective. Perhaps Patrick wanted to be with Mary Clare and murdered Moira, and the spirit we've been following around is Moira, the wisp. Oh, this is good. If this is right, it's a good story.
Mary Clare got married in Ireland.
But they're here in New Eden. Wait. Of course. This isn't Mary Clare.
Moira Tynan was betrothed to some fella. Moira fled with Elizabeth to avoid the marriage.
Mary Clare isn't Elizabeth's sister. It's a pretense to allow them to be together.
Right. Elizabeth
We know
and
Mary
Moira.
Clare is not who she claims to be. We know you're not sisters.
Enough. Leave her alone now. She doesn't deserve any trouble. Leave us be.
Okay, I'm still
They
not
were
sure
in
we've got the
love.
whole...
Their love binds them together yet. I hear it happens.
Let's go have a wee chat with them.
Elizabeth and Moira. Now, let's check this out. What have we got? Mary Clare and Elizabeth O'Hara are lovers. With Mary Clare hobbled, Elizabeth did the household chores. So Mary Clare was disabled somehow. The ghost of Elizabeth O'Hare cares deeply for her sister Mary Clare. Okay, so, well, that was the first hint. So this is... I've gone backwards through the revelations here. And then right in the middle, the ghost of Elizabeth O'Hara fears her beloved Mary Clare will not manage on her own. Well, it's not Mary Clare. It's Moira. Okay. We still don't have a portrait of Moira. So her sister, that we were told about, remained in Ireland and married Patrick. Okay. Talk to Moira and Elizabeth. Now we know her true identity.
A ghost in love is a force to be reckoned with.
I believe you.
Oh, we're gonna have a fight. A big fight with the spirit of Elizabeth. I doubt it. I don't think we're gonna need to.
Moira. Elizabeth. I wish to help you. Will you talk to me?
Be off with you, Scotsman.
Moira. I only wish to talk.
You shouldn't be here.
Nor should you, Elizabeth.
Who are you?
Antea Duarte. This is my partner, Red McWraith. He is also the man I love.
How do you two... I don't understand.
A long story. As is yours, I'm sure.
Right, we know what you're going through, that's for sure. Probably forbidden to be in love. Had to escape to the new world. To be together. I don't even know what we're supposed to do here. I mean, I don't really want to send or blame or banish either of these two. There's nothing wrong just yet. So how can we help you?
You clearly mean the world to each other. How can we help?
Stay away from her.
This cannot last. You must know it.
Why? Why would you say such a thing? What do you want?
Well, I'm not sure what we want. Elizabeth is killing you slowly. Is that right? Is that what the ghost does if they hang around? If that's the case, Antea, bugger off. It's not doing me any favours. How did you keep up the charade? I mean, I want to ask questions anyway, but how did you keep up this charade?
People here, well, let's say they lack understanding. How did you keep up the charade? Where did you find the courage?
Spite. We know what they did to the schoolmistress. We know what they do to free women. We took our place amongst them and acted as if we were them. Harshness was the facade behind which we could live.
A false face to the world so we could wear the truth at home. Pretending to the outside world is one thing, but you can't pretend to yourself.
True. Okay, how did you meet?
How did two such free-spirited young women end up so far from home? How did you meet?
We were neighbours in Ireland.
Elizabeth, don't. The other settlers.
It's time. Someone must know of us. Someone must remember us.
Your love is precious. You want it to live. I understand.
I doubt you do.
Okay, well what about these settlers? Can they hear the ghost talking?
What worries you about the other settlers?
Hang on a minute, I just saw...
They're Puritans. If them bigots knew about us, they'd chase us from the colony. Or worse. Much worse. To the world, we were sisters. Faithful, devoted, and inseparable. A man come courting Elizabeth was also courting me. Bad leg and all.
Huh.
None stayed. Now, I'm a crippled young woman alone. No family, no money, no position. Marriage to a man may be all I can hope for. But they shall not be happy.
I just saw in that option Antea said that she once loved a woman as well. So you grew up together.
So you grew up together?
Our families had business. Moira's dad worked the sheep farms, mine traded wool.
I was 16 when my leg broke. Doctors said I'd not walk again, that the shock would likely kill me. I showed them. I went to the O'Haras to learn the wool trade. We grew together. We grew to love each other.
And when they pressed you to marry, you fled here.
I'd not belonged to another. It was Liz or no one. New England meant we could be whoever we wanted to be, and no one would know different.
Gosh, is that true of that time? Even in, well, they say New England, the New World, in the Americas. Like, was homosexuality actually kind of well accepted? Or is this just a more modern telling of the realities of history? Elizabeth is killing you slowly. I'm not sure I agree with this, but perhaps she is.
You have loved each other. A love so great not even death could tear it from you. But Elizabeth, you must realize that you are feeding on Moira's life to continue your own flicker of existence.
Right, that's...
And what of you? Does the same truth not hold? Are you not hurting him by staying?
We find other ways for Antea to feed. Banishers, remember?
Show me how. That's your choice and I want the same.
It's not that simple. Us being Banishers is the only reason why Antea can be fed.
And it has its limits.
Gosh, I mean, when you put it like that, yeah, we just go around killing other people to feed their life essence into Antea. But only we're going to do it. Sorry, you know. Love to teach you how, but no, we're not selfish, but if everybody could do it, there'd be no living at all. She is killing you. Now I get it. So yes, the ghosts feed off the living. I keep forgetting that. That's one of the main underlying concepts of this whole game. And I was like, why is she killing her? Oh, I don't get it. Totally get it now. So what do you think, Elizabeth? What do you think? You know you're feeding off her, slowly killing her. Surely Elizabeth would sacrifice herself, so that didn't happen.
What do you think, Elizabeth? Do you wish the haunting to endure?
Am I really killing her?
It will seem like you aren't at first, but she will wither slowly and then all at once.
Her life is a gift. I don't wish to hurt her. I can't do without her, not here, not anywhere.
Oh, this is a sad one. This
There's
is
a haunting here. We're ready to bring it to a close.
Okay, I can't think that anybody who's heard this story would want to blame Moira or banish Elizabeth. So we will choose to ascend Elizabeth to do the least damage and the least sort of blame as possible. It's a hard call, but we have to make a decision.
Elizabeth lingers in order to protect you, Moira. Her ghost is strong and only grows stronger. Soon she'll become untamable. Accede to her request. Ask for help.
Should we do it, Liz? Should I ask for help?
Yes, you're so strong. I see it and God sees it too, and your love for him will keep the yokels away. Moira, you were the fire in my heart. You tended me. I basked in your glow. My restful heart was your great gift to me. Don't go. This is our home, and always will be. As long as you carry me in your heart.
We won't let your woman face the world alone. We promise. Go in peace now, Elizabeth. There is nothing left for you here.
That was emotional.
She is gone.
I'm afraid so. I'm really sorry, Moira, but...
Please. I need time.
God damn, that was a tough one. Oh, well, at least we've managed to close.
Peace.
I hope she finds
She
peace.
can manage on her own.
Well, you just said she wouldn't be on her own. What do we got to talk to her
What
in?
we can. The rest is up to Lammy. Let's go see him.
I don't know. We've done what we can. Oh, you mean in this area? In this zone? Oh, is that... Hang on a minute. Is there a bigger thing here? I know we've got these activities and I've not done any of them, but when they say go speak to Lammy, how the hell do I find him? Because that's this whole section done, I think. Yeah, the Haskells. So where the hell is he? In the Harrows? Somewhere. But how do we even begin to find him in the middle of all this mess? Oh, he must be back in the main town. I guess. Right back here. Okay, we're gonna have to travel back, see if we can find him.
As a community,
Oh my god, I've found him! This is the first building I tried.
you can do better.
You up here?
I can do better.
Okay. Lammy! Hi, Lammy, we're home. There you are.
Good day to you both. I trust you bring better news.
There were hauntings. We ended them.
Thank you. Truly. Here's to better days. Well, speaking of that, or not as the case may be, my speech is almost done. And by done, I mean written. I need an ending, a high note on which to finish. I was thinking of talking about you. Would you permit it?
Why not? Speak of courage, speak of patience. Patience, I think.
People don't always trust Banishers. You could speak of patience, of acceptance, of humility before the Lord.
This comes to you so easily. Were you always so eloquent?
Well, I've led men to war, and fearful men need words of courage.
Well put. I shall take it as inspiration as I return to my writing. With the added spice of your profound wisdom, I have faith that this speech will bring much succour to the company. Oh, what remains of it?
Here is your book. Oh, when did we get a book for him? Oh, we'll have it anyway.
Here, the Trismegistus Riddles. Yeah, you can have it back. It was very helpful.
Did you find what you were looking for?
Aye, we found Grace.
I take it from your tone that she's safe. Such good news. I wonder, if I called on her, would she receive me?
I don't know. Just be prepared. She has... changed.
Ah, change. After all that has happened, who among us has not changed?
Gosh, I don't remember what happened with Grace now. I need to go back and watch that. Grace. Oh. Anyway, Lammy.
Well, Lammy,
Good luck with your
in
speech.
case we don't see you, may I bid you farewell.
So, this is it? You'll return to New Eden and the meeting house?
Soon, if all goes to plan, Deborah Comenius will release her grip on New Eden.
The time has come to lift the curse. Our journey nears its end.
Do you really think Mistress Comenius is involved in all this?
We don't think it. We know it. Why?
Well, I'm no banisher, but
I don't like the sound of this.
What's this?
it's just... I gave the ghost of Deborah Comenius her assent.
What? What? Oh my god, so Deborah, as we've been following around, realizing that she's behind all of this, the curse across the whole of New Eden. Lammy gave her assent. But maybe he screwed it up. And that's why she's in this bind. Curse, an evil curse across the land. Maybe he read the wrong spell. What? Okay, what?
What?
Tell us what happened. All of it. Quickly now.
I saw her ghost for the first time during the winter of 1693. She was crying, she looked quite lost. This was near where she died, where she was killed. Not long after that, I saw her again. Soon she was there every time I passed. She was in such despair, I had to do something.
You found some obscure ritual in another of your books, and you tried to give her her assent.
Not an assent as such, since I did not use your words of power, but I'm confident my confected ritual of expulsion was just as effective.
Oh, for God's sake,
A breach briefly opened as she vanished, and then she was gone. I never saw her again.
This guy, meddling with things he doesn't understand. When did the curse appear, Lammy?
And when did the first signs of the curse appear?
Immediately the next day. Oh no.
Some months later. Oh my. You mean... No, it can't be!
Yeah, you started this, mate. It's your fault.
Oh, yes. You tried to help a vulnerable ghost and somehow started it all. For the very last time, Lamentation Haskell. No more experiments.
Oh, God. Farewell, young Haskell, and if I may offer some advice next time you have a bright idea, sit on it.
God, now if we hadn't ever... spoken to Lammy, right now, just a random choice, we would never have known. He started the whole thing. Tried to give Ascension. I mean, in a way, he was trying to do the right thing. But with the wrong tool. Trying to give Ascension to Deborah Comenius, who we now know to be the very evil that haunts this land. And in doing so, he caused it. Nice job, Lammy. Nice job. Well, guys, I will see you in the next part. I'm looking forward to this, but there are a whole slew of other side quests right up here in Mount Pleasant. And it is pleasant up there. You may remember probably one part of it. That's all of the Harrows solved. I think we've done all of the Dark Woods and of course New Eden Town at the very beginning. So Mount Pleasant is up next. We've got 6 side quests coming up. Oh, I cannot wait. Going back to these two, Helen, the puppeteer who we freed. God, that was a good boss fight. And Captain Pennington, who we already chose to ascend. So Helen's up there as the leader on her own. Let's go back up and find out how she's getting on. All the best, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in Mount Pleasant in the next part. Take care and good night.